A very good morning to all my dear students. This is Ma'am Paul and I welcome you all to digital classes of our college website. During this lecture of mine is going to be for the students of class 11 and we are doing a lesson of prose, We Are Not Afraid to Die. I have almost completed the lesson and we are heading towards the end. So today I am trying to conclude this lesson with you all, and we have seen up till now in this lesson that Wave Walker had faced a very fierce storm. The waves were very destructive and a lot of damage had happened to the ship, and they are saying that the ship was in bad shape. Its condition was not good, and after having done his rough calculations, he was expecting an island that is said to be the Isle Amsterdam somewhere close by, but that was also supposed to be a pinprick in the vast ocean. So he was now very desperate, that he knew because of the condition of the ship that if they did not reach the island, Wave Walker would not be able to make up to for a longer distance. And then he knew in his heart somewhere, and he was really thinking of this thought, that their end was very near. So he was very disappointed, but he wasn't disheartened. He's saying that at this time, he's telling us gradually that after having pumped water continuously for 36 hours, they were very exhausted, and just a few centimeters of water was left in the ship, and they hoisted the storm jib as the main mast was destroyed, and the struggle continued, and the narrator tried his best to protect the weakened starboard side. Then he's saying the same evening the narrator and his wife sat together holding hands, and their children came and they gave them card which had some little things written on it, and there were some caricatures of their parents, and they said these were the funniest people, and this brought some hope back to the father, who was also the captain of the ship. So the next thing that he did is that he's saying, I checked and rechecked my calculations. We had lost our main compass, and now I was using a spare which was not being corrected for magnetic variations. He's saying, I made an allowance for this and another estimate of the influence of the westerly currents which flow through this part of the Indian Ocean. Now about 2 p.m. I went on the deck and asked Larry to stir a course of 185 degrees. It was, if we were lucky, I told him, with a conviction. Conviction here means a very strong, confident and firm belief that he was expecting the island to be somewhere near and somewhere close by. So he's saying that he expected somewhere around 5 p.m. that they would see the tip or the verge of the island. So he's saying then with a heavy heart he went down and on his bunk, and he was really this was situation, he's saying, I went below, climbed on my bunk and amazingly dozed off. Amazingly dozed off because this was not a time for him to sleep, but because he was so exhausted, he was tired, he was desperate in heart, so he dozed off. Doze means he went off to sleep for a little time, and somewhere around 6 p.m. he's saying it was growing dark, and then again when he opened his eye, he's saying at that moment a tousled head appeared at my bunk. What is this tousled head? Head which had a lot of disarrangement of hair. Now here it has a little comic or a humorous tint in the lesson, saying because the son, he's talking about his son Jonathan, because having not been groomed for a very long time, his hair was all disarranged, and that little head came right near his bunk, and he said, you are the best dad, so can I have a hug? So now he's saying that now what am I getting a hug for? Right now I don't think that I am the best dad, because he's desperate and he knows as the captain of the ship that he has put everybody in trouble because he was not that prepared as he had thought. So what is he saying? Because you are the best daddy in the whole world. This is the comment of the little boy. The best captain, my son replied. Not today, Jonathan, not today, I am afraid not. So he's saying, I don't think so that I'm the best dad, not at least not in today's circumstances, because he is very, very depressed from within. So he's saying, why not? You must be, said Sue in a matter of fact voice. You found the island. what I shouted. Now that he heard this, that he had found the island, he was completely amazed, and it is out there in front of us. I rushed on the deck and gazed with relief at the stark outline of the Isle Amsterdam. So he could see a very dark and stiff and very hazy outline of the island. It was only a bleak piece of volcanic rock, and most beautiful island in the world, he's saying, because that was their only hope. We anchored offshore for the night, and the next morning all 28 inhabitants means those people who were living there on the island, they cheered us as they helped us ashore. They came, they cheered the all people who were on the crew, and they helped them unload all their stuff. And with the land under my feet again, he thought of Larry and Herbie. Now these are the two crewmen whom he had hired to face the roughest seas of the world, and if they were not there, he might not have made up till here. And he's saying that in the direst stress, they were optimistic. The most horripilating and destruction, and in lots of trouble and turmoil, they were keeping their optimism, and somehow with the combined efforts of all the people who were there on the ship, on the board, they could make up to this island. Of course, the captain was to be given all the praises for having taken them out here, but then he is reminded of all the people who are there with him throughout this troublous adventure, which became such a big moderation and turmoil for all the people here. He's saying, I thought of my wife who was at the wheel. She was there helping, and she did not lose her he has used a word, in the most crucial hours. She was there at the wheel confidently supporting her husband, and then in the end he's thinking of his kids. They come and they say he was the best dad. They hug him, they say they are the funniest people who make everybody laugh. And then his son Jonathan is saying, no, we are not afraid to die if we can be together. And towards the end, he's also thinking of his little daughter Suzanne, who was so badly injured, children, that the wound of her eye and the cut on her hand was getting worse day by day, and her eye was so badly swollen that it was just open to a slit. So that was such a bad damage to the little girl, and she was not at all anxious about it. She was not even discussing about this to her parents, because she did not want to bother them at that time when they were busy with saving lives of the other people. So he's saying, and that kind of a situation where her head injury, which subsequently took 6 minor operations to remove a recurring blood clot between skin and skull. So that wound, that injury that she had on the deck that day, it took her to 6 minor operations in order to get that over. So that was not something easy, but that small little girl, she remained calm, and she did not bother her parents for that. And gradually he's talking of his little boy who was not afraid to die. He said to his father that we are not afraid to die if we all can be together. So with this we end the lesson, children. Now, talking of the inspirational things that I drew from this lesson, if as a teacher I can learn something from here, definitely you all can. So what is it? That in life, children, things are never the same. In life, nothing is certain, because times do keep changing for all of us. The author said, I was prepared. For 16 years, he had, see what word he had used for us. He's saying he has spent his leisure time honing his seafaring skills. He was preparing himself for 16 years to face the roughest sea, but he had never in his wildest dreams thought of this condition that he would face, that the ship would be in a situation where it will be completely destroyed. A wooden hulled beauty, which was designed professionally to face storms, would be so badly destroyed that it would come on the verge of sinking, and there could have happened a shipwreck or something bad. But still, with the endurance, with faith, they maintained they could come out of that time. So if we face difficult situations of life with peace, without shaking the equilibrium of our mental balance, we try to maintain things, we try to maintain the harmony, we can face difficult situations, and definitely if we are as a family, we can definitely face all troubles of life. And one more thing, children, there is that other than all these things that I mentioned, one more thing we draw as an inspiration from this lesson, that change is the rule of nature.